Hey guys, in this video I want to talk about the topic why is Ken the worst character in Street Fighter 5. This is part 3 and genius, let's get started. So, on my first video I got a little shitstorm, and the interesting thing about this was that I have waited for any arguments below my video, but there were no single arguments with which I could work with. So I show you a picture of this. There is a text about Ken's weakness, character weakness. There is a nice document about a Ken guide, and this is a part of this document. And I want to show with this text what I exactly mean. Why is Ken the worst character in Street Fighter 5? The point is, I never talk about offline, local stuff. I don't talk about online. I only always talk about offline CPT. Because on CPT, you can only judge about a character if pros play on offline CPT tournament. That is the only way where you can really judge about the character. That's the point. Because online, everyone can play gimmicky, and everyone can, for example, Trashbox play number 1. He's so dominating, and why he is not dominating on CPT? Kenpi, for example, is dominating over 300,000 points with Ken, and why is not he the best Ken in the world and dominating on CPT? Because there is a big difference between online and offline. Because online you have another input, another timing, you can do more gimmicks and so on. So we come to the point why I think that Ken is the worst character in Street Fighter 5. Because Ken have a negative synergy of different aspects, which are the ingredient or the puzzle pieces of a character. Ken is master of none. I read it: while Ken is a very well-rounded character and has tools for every situation, he does not excel in any one particular area. Ken's strongest offensive options leave him open to counter-attacks, and his pressure is rather honest and nowhere near as oppressive as some other characters in Street Fighter 5 cast. He has no safe 3-frame attack, and his invincible Shoryuken requires an AX bar to use. His projectiles can be easily circumnavigated or entirely negated by the entire cast if they aren't used extremely well, and his normal moves are a bit on the slow and stubby side. What does this mean? If your personal skill, you have, for example, some weakness. What is the instinctive reaction of a character if he have weakness? A player if he have weakness. For example, he have a weakness on footsies, or he have a weakness for combos or whatever. So, or he have a weakness on concentration, whatever. He do instinctively compensate his weakness with a strong mechanic from the character. Okay? With a strong mechanic of a character. For example, you play against a Balrog, and the Balrog will always dash punch, dash punch, dash punch. You have to figure out which dash punch you can, for example, punish. You have to do more mind work and more effort. You need more matchup knowledge. And that's the point. I talk relative, not absolute. I talk about how much effort you must put in it to get the same result. For example, take the analogy of a car driver. If 2 car drivers have the same skill, and which driver will win? The driver with the better car. That's the point. So this means Master of None is a great weakness from Ken. And Ken is the only character in Street Fighter 5 which is Master of None. Every character has, for example, good strong defense, or at least strong normals. There is a point on the character where the player can lean back and chill and say, okay, I have a weakness, but I can use this strong tools to compensate it. That's the reason why playing Ken is so stressful, because Ken is, there is no tolerate. You get punished much earlier and faster and easier for your weakness, instead if you play another character. Second point, no get in for free tool. Many characters in Street Fighter V have an option, usually at the expense of an X bar, which lets them get close to the opponent and start their pressure. Mix-ups. Ken does not have an option like this. So, this means get in for free means offensive mechanic. And the architecture of Ken is that he is built for offensive aggressive playstyle. And if he don't have a strong mechanic in terms of get in for free, where is the point you can say Ken is an offensive character? I have looked much CPT matches from Ken. In last time they were very rare because full Asia dropped Ken and there are almost no Ken players left. And if a Ken don't have offensive strong mechanics, how you can say he is an offensive character? But his architecture, his archetype is the meaning of an offensive aggressive character. But why Capcom Go makes an archetype of an offensive aggressive character and don't give him a get in for free tool? Why not? That's not logic. Okay, we go to the third aspect. No 50-50 engine. Street Fighter V is a game where offensive options dominate play. Many of the strong characters in the game have extremely strong mix-ups that loop back into themselves or another equally strong mix-ups. Ken is not one of these characters. That's also a big weakness of Ken. If you can't put your opponent in a gambling situation, then your opponent is very comfortable, because it is easier for him to react to you. Why? Because you cannot surprise the opponent with something. The only thing can approach the opponent is on the ground through V-skill, which is bullshit. You can't use V-skill on CPT, raw V-skill. And that's why V-skill is trash from Ken. Because you can only use it in conjunction with combo, but you cannot use it raw. So why give Capcom Ken a V-skill which he can't use effectively raw? And the point is, every V-skill cancel is unsafe. Every V-skill cancel is unsafe. The only point is, if you use standing medium punch V-skill cancel, you are -4 if the opponent blocks. But you have to block. But you can't use this button against a 3-frame. And Ken is the only character, one of the less character, which don't even have a +3 on block button. And this would help Ken to use his V-skill cancel in footsies. If he get standing medium punch for +3 on block, then after the V-skill cancel, he would be -3. And he could still block against a 3-frame. So he would pick the opponent in some guessing situation. This means this point that Ken don't have 50-50 engine makes him extremely weak against other characters. And as I told, this means that there is no mental pressure. Okay, there's no mental pressure. You don't have to be ready for so many aspects. And this makes stress and put much more effort. You have to much more alert. This means you have to bring much more on the table. And the more you have to bring on the table, the weaker your character is. The weaker is your character. Okay, and then this is also an extreme big weakness of Ken. and this is hit confirms with inconsistent pushback. Ken has some odd inconsistencies with his normal attacks and target combos. If he scores a counter hit, depending on what move the opponent was counter hit out of, the pushback of Ken's attack may vary. This can cause some of Ken's unsafe follow-ups to whiff at ranges where they otherwise hit. Can you imagine how much stress a CPT player have if he have to think about, will my combo drop? Will I whiff or not? This is insane stress. And this means this is a big weakness if you have no reliability from your character. And Ken is the only character which such inconsistent pushback even on his target combos. This is insane in real. And we go to the fifth point, difficult to master. While Ken has an option for every situation, no one of these options are particularly amazing, and he doesn't excel in any one area more than other members of the Street Fighter V cast. Ken really is a jack of all trades, yet a master of none. He has no one-size-fits-all game plan to fall back on, no extremely powerful gimmicks or checkmate situations. Because of this, it takes very high amount of skill to produce consistent results with Ken versus high-level opponents. And this is the core what I mean with Ken is the worst character in Street Fighter V. Because the synergy of these 5 negative aspects makes a big negative weakness, the biggest weakness from all characters in Street Fighter V. That's the point. This is why Ken's fundamental structure is the weakest from all characters. It is not only his weak stubby normals with bad frame data, it is the synergy of all of these aspects. And on my first video I showed you how an opponent instinctively play against Ken. They block much, they abuse their strong mechanics because Ken don't have strong mechanics. He have good mechanics. But every character has good mechanics, and I don't talk absolute, I talk relative. That's the point. So I will make a part 4 video. I will keep it shorter because some people said, oh, half an hour is too much. I'm about 12 minutes, 30 minutes now. Next video I will show you a professional play from Ken on CPT and show you these 5 aspects, how much a big impact they have on the game. And I also want to say that working on your weakness is the hardest thing to do. And people say focus on your strength, but know your weakness. If a character don't have strength, on what you want to focus. And if a character don't have strength, what does this mean? This means that your weakness have much bigger impact on your game. And the more your weakness has impact on the game, the weaker the character is. Because, relative spoken, your effort is much higher you have to put in. This means I'm talking about effort, not about the character alone. It is the conjunction of character and player together. Okay, I will talk more about why is Ken the worst character in Street Fighter V on the next video. We are on 14 minutes and I want to stop it here. Thank you for listening, and please, if you give thumbs down, I have no problem. I respect every opinion from everyone. And we have to make dialogue, but put your arguments below the video. Okay, I want to know your arguments. Thank you. Till next time.